No joke, guys, the second I ended my last video, the stock market started taking the F off. Yes, we're not cussing in this video, guys. We don't curse here on YouTube, even though I think they just ended up changing their profanity policy, which we're not getting into that in this video. But either way, guys, the stock market today ended up ripping into the close. You guys can see SPY went from about 387, and I think that's roughly when I ended up filming, started to film my last video, and roughly when I ended it, right around that point, it started taking off. We went from roughly 387 on SPY all the way to 391 into close. That was a move of over 1.2%. Talk about a move. And Triple Q in that same time period ended up going, let's see here, from about $293-ish to about 297. That was a move of also 1.2 to about 1.3%. And the closing price on Triple Q was roughly 297 and went up 2.3% on the day. We had the Russell up 1.9. The Dow ended up going up a little bit over 1% as the S&P went up 1.6%. So yeah, we ended up running in the morning. So this is how it played out today, guys. And you know this if you caught my last video. And by the way, if you find value in this video, hit the like button, make sure to subscribe. And of course, don't forget to get up to 17 stocks for Moo, but we'll talk more about that later in the video. So we talked about this earlier. We saw a huge run in the morning. I think SPY got to 395 or something. We'll talk about that one in a second. And Triple Q got to 297. Then it pulled down to about 293 intraday. That was an intraday pullback of 1.5%. And then we had that massive run into the close. But this is huge here, guys. We did not break the intraday high today as we rallied into the close. You have to realize that. We had a nice run this morning. We hit 298 almost. And at the close, we did not break 298. So for tomorrow, for the rest of this week, we have to watch that point. Is 298 going to break? Is 300 going to break on Triple Q? That's when we could start to make some higher lows and start to get out of this downtrend if the chart wants to pull up, if the internet wants to work, guys. Come on, Triple Q. The internet here, guys. Clearly, I'm not at my house right now. I'm at a hotel. The internet is not the best here, but we're working with what we got. So here we go. You can see if we break 300, like I said, 305, we start taking the highs out from the beginning of this month, roughly 305. That's where we could start legitimately reversing. We're not there yet, though, even though we had a nice rally into the close. And SPY, let me pull it up. It's the same thing. Hopefully this loads. Come on, SPY. Come on. There we go. You guys can see it's still in a downtrend on the hourly chart. We just hit a low the other day, 380. And today in the morning, let me pull the intraday up. You guys are going to see here, we had that nice run in the morning, followed by that pullback intraday. Come on, if this thing wants to load. There we go. We had the run to 393.50. Pull back intraday. We rallied into close, and notice, just like Triple Q, this did not break out of the highs of the day on that rally into the close. That's not the best sign for the bulls. I mean, don't get me wrong. The fact that the bulls ran into close, that's great, but it's not like we're fully breaking out. So don't get too excited. That's all I'm trying to say here. We're still under the intraday high. If we pull up the 20-day chart, again, like I just showed you guys, we're still in a downtrend. You got to keep that in mind. So that's SPY. That's Triple Q. That's kind of what's going on right now as of what's today? Tuesday. I'm losing track of the days, guys. March 14th. So that's what's going on. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments, guys. And now let's talk about some stocks. I have a couple stocks here that I want to talk about that did pretty well today, as a lot of stocks did well today in the midst of the sea of green that we had out there, to say the least. So AXP, let's pull it up. This is American Express. You guys have probably heard of the company, right? AXP today had a 4% green day. That's after the past couple of days where it's gotten destroyed. It was at $180 just 4 or 5 days ago. It got to 157. That was a drop of 12%. And we actually called this thing out. Was it yesterday? I think we called it out. Either way, we called it out recently. Now I'm doing a follow-up on it. It's starting to bounce up here, guys. We're not fully breaking out yet, but we're pretty much one breakout away. We had a 4% green day, like I said. If this now breaks the 50 SMA on the 20-day chart here, if we break 165, which is right by that moving average, that's likely where we're going to have more upside. And if I pull up, let's see here, on the 4-hour chart, you guys are going to see it. And again, the internet here is not the best, guys. It's pretty slow, so give me a second. Bear with me. If I pull up the 4-hour, here we go. You guys are going to see 165. Well, that was also resistance back in August. You can see that's where we failed throughout August, early mid-September, and back in the middle of December as well. You guys see that. So we're pretty much right at a big level. So if 165 breaks again, that's where this trend could likely continue, in my opinion at least. So that's American Express. AXP is the ticker. We also have Applied Materials. Let me pull that up. AMAT is the ticker for this one. This went up almost 4%. Same with, same as AXP, right? Almost 4% on the day today. And look at where it closed, right under $121, which you guys can see if I zoom in here. And actually, I don't even have to zoom in. It's probably going to lag again because of the internet here. But you guys are going to see 121. That's been resistance for a month and a half. I mean, we broke out of it early in February. You can see that. But since that point, we've clearly gone, back under 120. Now we're testing it again. So if we could take out 121.50, hence why my alert's there, the ascending triangle is gonna play out, which right off the bat, that's what we have here, an ascending triangle. That plays out. We take out 121. We're probably gonna go straight to 125. And if that breaks, now we're talking a full-on breakout on AMAT here, which I'm not sure what the all-time high is. I think 140, 150. Maybe a little bit more than that. Let's see here. I'll pull up the 3-year chart if it wants to load. Come on, there we go. So all-time highs at 167. So if we do start moving past 125, it looks like here we have a wide open gap, maybe to 140. You guys can see back before this all-time high run, Applied Materials was choppy between, this was early 2021 throughout the end of 2021. It was trading between 130 to 140, 125 to 140. So that's a big range that we could be playing in soon. Again, if we break 125. So keep in mind, man, this could start to move fairly quickly in the short term. We have earnings out of the bag. The cat's out of the bag. In other words, earnings have passed here. Bulls look like they're still in charge. So 121.50 is where my alert's at on that one. Snapchat is another one, guys. Let's pull it up. SNAP is the ticker. Snap went up 1.4% on the day. And you guys remember that day where we got news that TikTok's likely to get, well, not likely to get banned, but now it's in like President Biden's hands that it's going to get banned or something like that, which I told you guys there's no way he's going to ban it, but it's in his hands now. We had a lot of euphoria that day in the other, American-based social media stocks. Snap went up like 15%. I think Meta was up on the day. Maybe Pinterest, I forget exactly. But yeah, since that point, I mean, look, we ran all the way to 1250, and I told you guys that day that 1250, 13, that was resistance stemming back from the beginning of August. I mean, look, we have it outlined on the chart. I told you guys, and lo and behold, fast forward a little bit, we got denied. We got rejected at that point, and now we're back in the mid-10s. So we're holding that trend. Even though we're down to the mid-10s, we're still holding the trend. You guys can see that right here. So let's see if we do end up popping back over these moving averages, maybe at like 1075, I'd say here, which right now we're at 1040. So we're starting to see some consolidation. I think the last couple of days, last 2-3 days we've been holding 1030. So let's see now if we get the full pop past the mid-10s, high 10s, which would then confirm this the start of this rally, maybe back towards that $11.50, $12 mark, right, Madeline? Yeah, that's right. Okay, that was my fiance, guys. She just got out of the bathroom. I think she just went to the other room. Either way, that's what I'm looking at here, and now I just realized the toilet is. You know how you flush the toilet, the water runs for a little bit longer? It's making that noise. Either way, we're going through it here, guys. Snap, I think, could be in store for a rally if, again, it breaks that 1075 mark. We'll see how it goes moving forward. I might as well set my alert right at $10.75. Let me do that now. Mark is that we're above 1075. All right, so the next one is Meta, which I just mentioned actually a second ago. I forgot it was on the list for this video. Meta ended up ripping today, guys. 7.25% green day, up over $194 on the day, $13 green day. And look at this. We have an inverse head and shoulders that's playing out, which we called out. And we also have a cup and handle now looking like it's going to break out of 195 any minute now. And mind you, the high from a couple weeks ago was 197. That was about a month and a half ago from the beginning of February. So this looks like any day now, it could start running past $200. And to be honest, by the looks of it, man, at this point, the way the trend's looking, sure, it could come back under 200. But if it breaks 200 this time, I don't know when it's going to come back under, especially if the markets remain hot like they were today. And granted, if we see an overall market crash again, Meta's going to go under 200, no doubt, in my opinion. But if we stay with a strong, steady market, who knows, man? This thing might not be coming under 200 anytime soon, and it looks like it's getting ready to burst through 200. And you guys can see if I pull up the 1-year chart, let me pull that up. We can see, we have wide open gaps towards 215, 220, 235. These were the highs from about a year ago. So Meta looks like it's getting ready to rip any day now. Today it ripped. It looks like it could break out any day now. So that's one that I'm looking at for sure here. And we also have DraftKings. Yes, guys, DraftKings. A little bit more, a very much more, or a lot, you know what I mean. Way more speculative than the other ones here. We have DraftKings, guys. This thing went down 0.8% on the day, and at this point, it's fairly oversold from the recent high, which was roughly at $21.60. Now we're at $18. This thing is down about 16%. You guys see that? So if we end up drawing this trend line out, you guys are going to notice right now we're actually right at the 180 SMA on the 4-hour chart, but we're also right at this level of resistance, 1750, which now happens to be support. That was actually resistance from the beginning of October, end of October. You guys see that, beginning of February. So this is going to be a big spot for the bulls. If we fall through this 1750 level, of course, that's not going to be good for the bulls. But if we do end up seeing any buying pressure here, which mind you, we're not getting yet, but we have to be patient. We'll see how it plays out. That's where we could see maybe another run, maybe into the 20s on DraftKings. So keep your eyes out on it. Ticker symbol DKNG. And before we dive into the next stock, guys, if you have not gotten up to 17 stocks yet for Moomoo, it's free money. Come on, if you haven't gotten those stocks yet, use that link down below or go to stocksurfest.com/Moomoo. Listen to this. Once you open up an account, you get 1 free share of stock right off the bat. If you deposit at least $100, you get 4 more free shares of stock plus 2 shares of either AI or BBAI. That's limited time, by the way. You have a couple more weeks now to do that, and actually 2 weeks, not even 2 weeks. So get on that and listen to this. If you deposit at least $1,000, you get another 10 stocks, totaling 17 stocks from Moomoo. So all the details are down below, guys. Use that link. Get your free stocks. Let me know which stocks you get, and of course, it helps out the channel. I appreciate you all as always. And now let's dive into the next stock, which is Apple, ticker symbol AAPL. Sometimes I just laugh at myself the way I talk on these videos, guys. But Apple is the next stock here, which today went up 1.4%. You guys are seeing that right here. We're testing the wedge right now, which we've been trading in for the past couple of weeks, ever since the beginning of, it looks like, February here. So we're testing that wedge, clearly making lower highs, higher lows at the same time. And I feel like, and I'm still sticking to this, if 156 breaks, 155, this could be off to the races, at least in the short term. I'm not saying it's going to go all the way to all-time highs or anything wild like that. All I'm saying is we could be gearing up for a run, maybe towards that high from, let's see, the middle of September, which was right around 164.5 roughly. Maybe if that breaks, we could start pushing 170 if it gets really hot, and we'll see where it goes from there. So 156 is where my alert's at on Apple, and we didn't really get any crazy news about Apple today. What are they doing? Apple said to delay bonuses for some to October. Maybe we have to look into that. Probably not. And it looks like here, if you want to be defensive, look for strong balance sheets, says B. Riley's Art Hogan. Yes, I agree with that. You have to look for strong balance sheets. Now's the time for that for sure. So that is Apple AAPL. And the last one, which is CrowdStrike, we have to do a follow-up on this because I recently talked about it. Today it went up 5.4% on the day. Monstrous day for CrowdStrike. It closed at $128, and we called it out a couple of days ago when it was at, I think, 118, 120. When it actually, that was yesterday, when it was at the bottom of this channel. Look at this now, guys. We ended up rallying off that point. We broke over the 50 SMA. Now we're taking out the highs from the end of February, all of February for that matter, and it looks like we're pretty much right by, or maybe not right by, but well on our way to the top of this channel, which is anywhere from 134.3, roughly, to maybe 140 if it gets really hot. So this looks like there could be more upside. Momentum is in the bulls' favor, no doubt about it. And with that being said, That's pretty much it, guys. We talked about 7 stocks. We broke down the markets. We gave some insights. So I'd love to know your thoughts. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. Hit that like button. Feel free to subscribe to this channel and my second channel, Stocks Talks Money. And don't forget to get up to 17 stocks for Moomoo. Link down below. Check out my Patreon as well if you guys are interested. And with that being said, I'll see you all later. Peace out.